Hello and welcome to the Fitting in Fitness interview series. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and if you're a busy woman who is looking for a more compelling reason to stick to her fitness routine than just to look cute in her skinny jeans, you are in the right place. During this series, I'm talking to some really amazing rock star women who are super busy, but fit fitness into their lives and cite it as one of the secrets to their success. They're going to tell you how they got started with their fitness routines, why they choose to fit fitness into their super busy schedules, and what you can do to start adding fitness into your own life and seeing some results today. So I'm so excited that you decided to tune in to watch our interview today, and my guest today is Sandra Filer. Welcome, Sandra.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. So glad to have you here. So I'm going to read to you a little bit about Sandra first. Sandra Filer, MBA, is a gifted artist, author, beauty and fashion consultant, retreat leader, speaker, and licensed Heal Your Life coach and workshop leader. Her business, The Happy Goddess, is all about empowering women and men to live happy, healthy, love-filled lives through coaching, retreats, and workshops. Sandra has been described as vibrant, colorful, playful, authentic, of integrity, energetic, and intelligent. When she's not creating, she is at the beach. What a great place to be.
That's right.
To join you. Well, love your bio there. We'd love to know what a day in the life of Sandra is like. Kind of give us a peek inside.
Oh, yeah, wow. Well, first of all, probably not much different than a lot of other female entrepreneurs. Not only running a business, also running a household.
Sure.
So how my day usually starts is I get awoken by a furry little one. I have 6 furry little ones, and all of them, decide at 4 a.m. that it's time for me to rise. And then the first thing that I usually do after I feed my cats is look for my tennis shoes. Because the first priority on my list is to get myself out the door and to the gym so that I am physically moving my body for at least 1 hour before I do anything else. And for me, that's been the thing that has worked the best. I have been physically moving my body for 30 years and have hardly missed a couple days a week during that time. And so I've tried it all different ways, lunchtime, after work, and first thing in the day. And then, of course, once I've got that under my belt, then it's, thing after another thing after another thing after another thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely typical of female entrepreneurs. That's what everyone's been saying too, and which makes me feel better because no day is the same for me, and it's good to know that I'm not the only one, and we all wear many different hats in our businesses. So
isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great. So your solution for fitness has been to fit it in right in the beginning of the day. Nothing else has really helped keep it a consistent part of your routine.
Yeah. It's real fun. From the moment you asked me about this, I thought, wow, female entrepreneur, how has it helped my business? And as I was sharing before we got started, I had a slight little knee injury that actually caused me to slow it down. And what I noticed from that is that one of the benefits, like you were talking about, or you have talked about, is how exercising really does increase my energy. And so it's funny, the things I've thought about since you asked me about this is, one, with the energy level thing, I'm always the first one, when I'm traveling on business, I'm the first one at breakfast, and I'm the last one to bed at night. And yet, no matter how late we're up, I'm still the one that's always at the gym. Because I think that has a big part to do with it. I have that level of energy because I'm keeping my body moving, and it keeps my energy level up.
Love it.
Yeah. And something else that I thought about is, how we make this a part of our routine and a part of our lives is that I'm a very, even though people look at me and think that I'm this, all crazy, I am also very organized. I'm very organized. And so I travel a lot on business and for pleasure. And I always pack the same way. And the first thing that always goes in my bag is my tennis shoes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so that way they're there because, we can walk right out the door wherever we are and start exercising, just walking. And also from a strategic point, female entrepreneurs, you can stuff a lot of stuff in tennis shoes.
Oh, see, this is why I need these tricks, because I'm always like, I have so many things, and fitness, wanting to work out while you're on the road, you have to bring an extra kind of wardrobe.
Yes.
But at least I can start stuffing my shoes.
Yes. I mean, the shoes, you can put all kind of stuff in there. Lots of good things fit in there. Eye creams and, application wands and powder brushes and, all of those go right in there and it saves a lot of room. Yeah.
See, I'm learning too.
Yes, yes.
So you said that you've been working out for a while. Has it always been a part of your routine, or how, can you kind of talk to us about how you've had such a long stint with fitness as being a part of your life?
And that's a really great question because it's a little bit of a funny story and it has to do with an ex-husband. When I met him, I was very young. I was 20. And the one thing I'm very grateful is I learned a lot about nutrition and I learned a lot about exercise during that relationship, which to this day I'm very grateful for because some of the things that we did back then, grow our own wheatgrass, eat tofu, eat quinoa, who nobody ever heard of, back then, and now it's the rage. So many of the things then are still true to this day. And on one of our first dates, he took me out to play Frisbee. And so when we were playing Frisbee, he would toss the Frisbee really far away. And I would have to run for it. And it used to really frustrate me. And so then he looked at me and he said, well, that's because I'm trying to whittle you down. Which wasn't very much a kind thing to say. However, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear because I tend to be very competitive. And, I'm in it to win it. I play to win. And so he also used to we started bicycle riding. And one of the very first bicycle rides we went on, I was just in little ordinary tennis shoes. And he just started riding. And I think our first ride was 20 miles. And, well, that was all I needed was a new pair of bike shoes, some bike gloves, a good bike seat, and to be pushed to wanting to always do better. Yeah. And so my 20-mile rides ended up being 100-mile rides, and I was in the back of the pack to being in the front of the pack. And so what kept me going was the love of how my body felt, how my body feels, and also I like to eat. So, when we're working out and we are burning energy, energy out, energy in. And so I also used to read a lot by Paul Bragg, and he would talk about, give your body something to earn your food, earn your food. And so I've always felt it makes me feel good. Yeah. So I like how I feel so I just kept at it, and I just kept doing all sorts of different things because I do have a short attention span, or I can. So trying a lot of different things also really helps.
Yeah, keep it fun and
keep it fun. Yeah. Now I don't know. I've done Zumba a few times. But,
I did. Well, I posted it because everyone else posted it, so I was bringing it because it was already there. But I took my first Zumba class earlier this month, so I can say I've done it, but I don't know if anyone else wants to see me in a Zumba class again.
Yeah, I'm not a good booty shaker, let's just say. It was a good workout, and it was a lot of fun, but even though I'm brave enough to wear pink hair, there's still something about doing a dance routine with a big glass wall, and everyone looking. There's still that little bit of, I guess that's probably the competitiveness of wanting to be perfect before anybody see me, being the master of the routine.
Oh, very fun. No, so one thing I've been asking too, because you've related this and other women have said it too, like once you have fitness as part of your routine for a decent amount of time, you notice and you know that you have all this extra energy when you add it in. But are there times when you don't stick to your fitness routine 100%, and what do you do to kind of get back on track? And speak to us on that.
I can speak to that point. Here's something funny. there are times that we just don't get to exercise, right? And a couple things that I really like the ankle weights. And a funny story about that, I think I shared a little bit with you, is I don't know, maybe one might say I'm a little extremist at times, but like you're saying, sometimes we do just get really busy and we may actually be crunched for time, and we all have the same amount of time to use. I'll put on the ankle weights just to make my walking be more strenuous throughout the house or throughout the office during the day. And that was one thing way back in my days when I was first working and I was, 20 years old. And I used to, ride my bicycle to work in a dress with leg weights on. Then I would carry my bike. I wouldn't take it on the elevator. I would carry it up the flights of stairs. And sometimes, because I would get so used to the ankle weights being on my ankles, I would forget they were on my ankles. And I'd be walking around the office to only have a boss, kind of tap me on the shoulder and say, hello, it's time to work, not exercise any longer. But, it's the simple things like that, just having them on your legs, and you can, lift your legs at your desk, or... and I'm a big advocate of also, of course, the typical, I do park all the way to the end of the parking lot so I can walk as far as possible. I always take the stairs instead of an escalator, and same in office buildings and at hotels when I stay and travel, just any way that I can to just keep my body moving. Yeah. And, I also try to look at... we're always trying to maximize time as entrepreneurs. And that's one thing that if you mastered your balance, that's one of the things that I really pride myself on, is that I can spend an hour in the morning also on the elliptical machine or on the seated bicycle, that's got the little armrest, and I can have my, handheld device right there, and I can be knocking out an hour's worth of activity while I'm exercising. So it's also very productive that way. I'm doing two things at one time.
No, I started to do that too. I'm like, I don't know, because I used to be able to, not be able to actually walk on the treadmill without feeling like I was going to fall off or something. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I should do this, but it's been good, and you feel more energized afterwards. Sometimes you'll be sitting at your computer and getting all those social media things done or other, emails done, you just feel like so tired, but it really makes a difference. Yeah,
and especially if I tend to be, my most productive time is the morning. I'm a morning person. So when I'm in my really productive mode, I'm up at 5, and then I'm, at the gym by 5:30. Well, most people are sleeping. Right. So imagine what you are getting accomplished in just... That was something I learned from Mary Kay Ash years ago, was that one way of really adding hours to your time and to make the most of your time is from 5 to 8 in the morning. Those 3 hours are usually before anybody else is getting started. Sure. That 3 times 5 is 15 extra hours of, productivity. Yeah. So, we all have at least 30 minutes, I think, to fit in a little bit of exercise. Right. And there's so many different things to do now. I mean, the gyms are so great, and look at all the programs you offer for women. I mean, there's just so much versatility out there, and, I just consider the fact that, if we don't move it, things are stiffening, and I know that as I'm getting a little older. I hate to even say that, but it's true. So, I'm really an advocate for, move it.
Yeah, sure. And we touched on this too, just in our conversation, but anything you'd want to tell our viewers about how fitness has had a big impact on your life and business, besides just kind of, sometimes you think, oh, it would be great to fit in my skinny jeans a little bit better, but I just don't have time. Like, what are some other benefits that you've seen that you could share?
Yeah. Well, one thing that I would say how exercise has also benefited my business is that being a life coach is one part of my business, and I have many of my customers or our coaching clients are also into physical fitness. And I love to be in nature. I think that nature can be very inspiring and can also really open up people's hearts and allow them to just feel more free to share. And so one of the things that I've done in my business is we have walk and coach sessions.
Love that.
And so that way we're both getting a little extra in, and sometimes I even do that as an extra bit, to take my thing this year is radical self-care.
Okay.
And so taking my exercise to a radical level would be where I have my typical 1 hour workout, and then maybe I treat myself to 30 minutes with a friend
right.
or a coaching client, and then we spend that 30 minutes doing, a little lap around to get some fresh air, move our bodies, and move our minds at the same time. So that would kick it into radical, like adding on another 30 minutes. And definitely, like we've mentioned, I think that overall, I truly believe that because I have been physically fit my entire life, naturally my productivity is higher. Mm-hmm. I'm not sick. Mm-hmm. I'll have the random cold here and there, and mostly that's because I haven't radically cared for myself. Being a female entrepreneur, I've done way more than I needed to do. So another benefit for my business would definitely be, my productivity level. I've got, the energy. I'm not having to call in sick.
Right.
Also, I'm happier. Exercise boosts our spirits. I feel better about myself.
Right.
There's a lot to be said about what that can do for a business when you've got people that have. I feel good. There's a sense of accomplishment, achievement.
Right.
Like, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, if you do eat that random donut, and then there's still time in the day to maybe, do a little extra that day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Very cool. Yeah. Well, you touched on this too, but any other tips? I just feel like I've talked to a lot of female entrepreneurs that say that they just don't have time. Mm-hmm. They're just so busy. Any tips you have for them? Just as to what they can do, or how, why you might want to convince them to get started or try even a little bit.
Well, I work with inner and outer, beauty, and I work in the area of self-care, and I think that the person that we most need to take care of is ourselves.
Sure.
And as females, we really tend to do everything for everybody else. And I would say that none of us are too busy to care for ourselves. And the number one killer in women is heart disease.
Oh, sure.
and stress. And if we are working that much that we don't have time, somewhere we're not balanced.
Right.
And I really think that it doesn't have to be an hour.
Right, yeah.
It can be 10 minutes. And, it can begin with the easiest thing is to just walk right out your front door.
Mm-hmm.
It's as easy as that. Or even if you have to do laps around your living room.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to get on the best workout outfit. You don't have to look cute. Just do whatever it is to move, because when we're running our own businesses, the most important person to that business is ourselves.
Right.
So I really think that it's I had an accounting professor that used to say when we didn't finish our homework, we would say, I don't have time for that. And he would say, well, Filer, did you sleep last night? I'd say, yeah. He said, well, then you had time to do your homework because you were sleeping. So I have a friend that's a really, she works crazy hours. And when I say crazy, I'm like 9 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Wow.
And she finds time at 2 a.m. before she goes to bed to do her crunches and her push-ups. And,
wow.
Yeah, so, it's important to our health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, just like Nike says,
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah.
And I think kind of what we've been saying and what some of the other women have touched on too is that, it's hard. It might be hard seeing it if you're on the outside and haven't done it in a while, but once you get going, I think that's the piece. Like once you find that routine, you really do see those.
Yeah.
See those results.
And as women too, if you can find a girlfriend, which also can be a challenge, because most often as a female entrepreneur, you're going to run around with other successful female entrepreneurs. However, if you can also find a friend and do it together, that also, of course, really kicks up, the joy factor.
Right.
And then you catch up with your friend that you probably don't have time for either.
Right, it's true.
And what are we all looking for? We're looking for more connection and So there you go. You can spend some time with your BFF and get some fitness in.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So other questions I've been asking just to keep it fun and to try to have people be excited about what we're doing here, what we're talking about, is I've been asking each of my female entrepreneurs to suggest a dare, something actionable that our viewers can try out even today to get going. What would you dare our viewers to do?
I think what would be really fun, now see, I'm all about high energy and I'm all about having a good time and raising it to the radical level. So one of the things that I think could be done, and you just can't help but smile when you're doing it, and that is, I encourage you, whatever you're doing right now, if you need to go get a drink of water, if you need to go use the restroom, that instead of walk your way there, skip.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. It uses just a little bit more energy, and just try to do it without laughing.
See?
It's a mood lifter.
I skip sometimes, like when I'm really excited about something, I'll skip around and my husband thinks I'm crazy, but I do feel that's because I'm so joyous already, but it would be fun to add it and have some more joy and burn some extra calories.
It's a lot of fun, and if you do want to, create a little stir on the street, try skipping down the street, just for kicks. You'd be amazed, people like stop or honk their horn, but
keep
things interesting.
Yeah, love it.
Life's too short to be boring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I love that dare. Very fun. So you'll have to let us know if you've accepted the dare. We'll leave places to find us so you can tag us and show yourself skipping. Very fun. And then Sandra, last thing I've been asking everyone is, with it being so close to the new year, I think you might have mentioned this already, but do you have a quote you live your life by, mantra, or some kind of a word of the year that you've picked that we could just leave with a little extra inspiration, maybe not fitness related, but something think about?
The one that really comes up for me is to be bold. Is to be bold. With respect to my hair, okay, I'll just speak to it because we all grow up with little stories that we tell ourselves, and my mother used to always say that a woman, once she turns 40, shouldn't have long hair. And so when I was 40, I cut my hair off, and then all of a sudden, about, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago or so, I just started coloring my hair all different colors because earlier, I am a former banker. I'm a retired banker. I was a vice president. And of course, in banking, I could never have purple hair or pink hair. And so I just decided to, treat my hair as a fashion accessory. So I have fun with it, and I cannot tell you how many people stop me on a daily basis and say, you go, or wow, you're brave. So be bold.
I love that.
Be bold.
I might be on the pink bandwagon soon enough. I don't know. I might start with the streak, but I feel like coming.
That's sort of where it started. Yeah. I don't do tattoos. I do hair color.
See? Well, that's okay. That's a good way to think of it,
Yeah, it's painless.
I love it. Well, I was telling you earlier, I keep meeting all these female entrepreneurs that I love and really admire that have pink hair. So I'm like, there's something about this pink hair.
Yeah. Dare to go there.
Love it. Well, very fun. So Sandra, I've had so much fun talking to you. I'd love for the audience to be able to find you and learn more about you. If you have anything exciting coming up in your business or anything you want to tell us about that we can go find.
Yeah, sure. So where you can find me is I'm on Facebook, of course. I have a personal page, Sandra Filer, and then I also have my Happy Goddess page, The Happy Goddess. And where else can you find me? And my website is thehappygoddess.com. I run a monthly meetup group.
Oh, fun.
And our meetup group is all about radical self-care. So you can also find me in Meetup, Houston's Heal Your Life workshops and circles. And then just out and about, having fun, maybe skipping around Memorial Park.
Love it.
Look for the crazy lady with pink hair.
Very fun. Well, hopefully you guys can check her out and get inspired. I love your Facebook page, by the way. I always have some inspiring things with Facebook kind of shielding us from all what we want to see, I have to go over there and find it. But love it. Always inspiring. So definitely go check out her Facebook page at the very least. It's been so fun chatting with you today, Sandra, and really glad we were able to meet in person even in this day of like Skyping and everything else.
Yeah, so much fun. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, this is going to conclude today's segment of the Fitting in Fitness interview series. We really appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget your dare from Sandra is to add that little skip to your step, skip around as you're traveling from room to room, or just, if you want to be a little bit bold and see what people think on the street. Very fun. I love it. So I'll leave our link so you can tag us and tell us that you've accepted Sandra's dare or not. We'd love to see some proof of you skipping around. Thanks again for joining the interview series, and hope you'll be able to catch some of the other ones. Bye.
Bye.